I saw a comedian speaking kind of bad about you, man.
Who is this?
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said nothing else.
Is he a comedian? Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if he...
Daddy, put hands on you, give you real black eyes. And that's the truth. I've had about enough.
I stand Ice Cube.
That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise.
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said nothing else.
Is he a comedian? Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if he...
You know things are bad when Ice Cube, the same legend who dropped No Vaseline, actually pauses his billionaire business moves just to clap back at you. But that's exactly what happened after Aries Spears opened his mouth and tried to come for Cube's whole legacy. We're talking his music, his acting, everything, and trust, it did not go over well. On Big Boy's Neighborhood, it started off chill. They were just chopping it up about rap legends, going through the usual top 10 debates. When Aries did what Aries always does, he spiraled. Out of nowhere, he straight up called Ice Cube trash as a rapper and as an actor. Like, really? Cube might not have said much at first, but when the clip hit the internet, he fired back hard. He called Aries irrelevant, not funny, and said he's not even on the black comedy radar. Not top 10, not top 20, just gone. And then of course, 50 Cent saw the clip. And you already know how that goes. If there's one thing 50 lives for, it's roasting someone who's already fumbling. He didn't miss a beat jumping in to clown Aries even harder. But it gets worse, way worse. After throwing shade at Cube, Aries went after Today Was a Good Day, one of the most legendary West Coast anthems ever made. And he didn't just diss it, he mocked it with a weird impression of Cube as a gynecologist. Yeah, that happened. The punchline? So awkward the whole studio went dead silent. Aries laughed, but nobody else did. Not even a chuckle. You could feel the secondhand embarrassment through the screen. Big Boy's co-host tried to smooth it over, but Aries just wouldn't let up. Aries didn't just throw shade, he straight up disrespected the entire West Coast. That's the kind of reckless move that gets you blackballed for life out here. And the wildest part? He knew exactly what he was doing. At one point, he even stared dead into the camera like he wanted the smoke, like he wanted the drama. That wasn't confidence, that was self-destruction in real time. And man, the backlash came fast. One fan put it perfectly. I love Aries' skills, but bro, the Ice Cube slander is a no-no. Others called him out too, saying this is why Aries ain't got the credibility to even speak on Cube or Pac's lyrics. People online were dragging him, saying he was just bitter that the West Coast stole the spotlight from New York in the 80s and 90s. That stung, and it showed. But here's where it really blew up. The legends he dissed actually responded, and that never happens. Usually when someone irrelevant starts yapping, the icons ignore it. They move on, they don't waste time on nonsense, but not this time. Ice Cube came through with that OG energy and flamed Aries without even raising his voice. Cube hit him where it hurts. He said Aries wasn't funny, wasn't relevant, wasn't even in the conversation when it comes to real black comedy. He didn't just defend his name. He tore down Aries' entire career like it was built on matchsticks. But nope, that viral clip wasn't even the end. Aries, he was just getting started. Even after legends clowned him and fans dragged him all over social media, he popped up on Vlad TV like nothing happened, doubling down like he had something to prove. Mocking Cube once wasn't enough. He had to go for round two. Like, bruh, read the room. But here's where it takes a sharp left. This stopped being about Ice Cube because somewhere in some fancy hotel suite, 50 Cent was definitely watching all this mess go down on his phone. And guess what? Aries had the nerve to throw a jab his way too. And just when everybody thought 50 would let it slide, he hit Instagram with a silent but deadly move. A shady little video clip, no names, no tags, just vintage 50 Cent energy. Fans knew instantly who it was aimed at. It was 50's version of You Ain't Worth the Mention, and somehow it still hit harder than a direct diss. So why did 50 even bother? Let's be honest, 50's booked and very busy. The man's running shows like Power, BMF, locking down liquor deals, selling out arenas, flipping real estate, and still has time to troll. But this one hit different, because what people forget is 50 and Ice Cube go way back. There's mutual respect between them that's deeper than rap. Cube gave 50 props on his film hustle before Hollywood ever did. And 50, he's always given Cube his flowers. So when Aries came swinging, 50 wasn't just defending Cube. I'm ice cold, the hood left, the left side of my chest froze. Need help with your bills? I'll write you a referral-ish. You might even get you a love contract. Yeah, that's the kind of slick talk 50 Cent posted when he threw that subliminal. And Aries, he definitely felt the heat. So what did he do? He snapped. Dude launched into this emotional rant against Cube like he was fighting for his life. You could tell Cube's words cut deep, because Aries wasn't just defending himself anymore, he was spiraling, and the internet was watching every second of it. And then just when you think he couldn't fumble any harder, he did. Aries tried to switch gears mid-rant. He suddenly said, I respect Ice Cube as a man, but in the same breath turned around and said, Cube's never done anything impressive, ever. Like, that's not just shady. That's straight up contradictory. You can't praise someone and tear them down in the same sentence. And that's when folks online lit him up, not because he had a hot take, but because he tried to play victim when the heat came back. One commenter hit him with, "You can't throw shots and cry when they clap back." Another said, "You got your opinion? Fine, but after that skit, you're not valid. Ice Cube is a made man." But it gets darker, because just as Aries was trying to climb out of one controversy, the internet reminded him of the real storm cloud still hanging over his head, the Tiffany Haddish lawsuit. Yeah, that one. Back in 2022, Aries and Tiffany were slammed with a disturbing lawsuit involving allegations of grooming. The accusations were tied to a so-called comedy sketch, where a young child was left alone with a creepy adult character, played by Aries himself. The backlash hit like a wrecking ball. Twitter exploded, people were reposting the clip like wildfire, and even the Shade Room jumped in with the footage, and it was ugly. Even though that lawsuit eventually got settled and the video was wiped from the internet, that stain on Aries Spears' name, still there, still loud, still undeniable. So what did Aries do next? He ran right back to Vlad TV, again. At this point, fans started joking that Aries was on Vlad's channel more than Vlad himself. Every other week, it was the same tired rant. "I'm blackballed. I should be as big as Kevin Hart. I deserve more respect." Over and over, like clockwork. And people noticed the pattern. Aries was out here talking way more than he was working. Meanwhile, his name only made headlines when there was drama. No stand-up clips going viral, no major movie roles, just beefs, complaints, and controversy. He wasn't trending because of talent. He was trending because he couldn't let go of the past, constantly digging up old wounds and throwing shade, hoping someone still cared enough to react. But that wasn't even the whole story. Inside the industry, Aries has a reputation, and not the good kind. Multiple former castmates have come forward over the years, saying Aries was hard to work with, always had an ego, and constantly tried to outshine everybody in the room, even when the cameras weren't rolling. Now don't get it twisted, Aries is talented. Dude can do impressions, work a crowd, hit the timing just right, but he never got that Chappelle moment, that one breakout, culture-shifting moment that takes a comic from known to untouchable. And when you don't get that, that bitterness eats at you. Now flip the script. Why did this whole beef backfire so bad on Aries? Because when you come for Ice Cube, you're not just picking a fight, you're disrespecting a pillar of the culture. Ice Cube's legacy, untouchable. The man created iconic characters that became straight-up rites of passage in hip-hop culture. And let's not forget the Big Three League, a full-on basketball empire he built from the ground up. It's now backed by real NBA legends and top-tier investors. This isn't just celebrity clout, this is real boss moves. And that's before we even talk about the fact that Cube was ghostwriting for Easy, Dre, and Ren, basically crafting the entire NWA catalog while he was still a teenager. That's the kind of resume that doesn't just earn respect, it cements it. Now compare that to Aries Spears. What's his biggest stamp on culture? A couple of funny skits on Mad TV, a few solid stand-up bits, and now being the guy who tried to drag Ice Cube on a podcast and ended up going viral for all the wrong reasons. That's why fans didn't even hesitate. They stood by Cube immediately. And here's the part that really sealed it. The final twist. Ice Cube recently dropped a teaser cast list for the long-awaited Final Friday movie. And guess who was nowhere on it? That's right, Aries Spears. Now maybe nobody said he was ever up for a role, but come on. The timing? Too perfect. Fans knew what was up. It was Cube's way of saying, don't play with legends. No matter how many voices Aries can mimic, no matter how loud he gets online, he's not getting cast where it counts. He wanted to go viral, mission accomplished. But now he's trending not because he's funny, but because two living legends basically called him a nobody. And the internet agreed. Make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.